Yeah, hello. This is Ireti Fality from eSchool Nigeria, and this is our last tutorial for completing the square method using it to solve problems in quadratic equation. So if this is your very first time of watching this tutorial, we have done some couple of tutorials. You can go and check them out. Now let's take a look at this 5x squared plus 3x minus 3. Now we have not done anything like this before, so just flow along. The very first step is to divide this by 5. So you divide it by 5, you divide this by 5, you divide this by 5. So after dividing this by 5, you have 5 cancel out 5, so you have your x squared plus 3x over 5 minus 3 over 5 is equal to 0. So we take minus 3 over 5 to the other side, so we have x squared plus 3x over 5 is equal to 3 over 5 is equal to 3 over 5. Now after doing this, we now say we make this a perfect square by saying x squared plus 3x over 5 plus 3 over 10, because we are multiplying 3 over 5, we are multiplying 3 over 5 times half. So we have 3 over 5x plus 3 over 10. Everything square is equal to 3 over 5 plus 3 over 10, everything square. Now, so taking note of this, we say x plus 3 over 10, everything square is equal to 3 over 5 plus 9 over 100. 3 square is 9, 10 square is 100. So we take a look at the LCM. So 100 divided by 5 is what? 20. 20 plus 3, 20 times 3 is what? 60. Plus 100 divided by 100 is 1, times 9 is what? 9. So let me clean up this place. Oops. Okay, so we now say x plus 3 over 10, everything square is equal to 60 plus 9 is what? 69 over 100. Now another thing that you do is you square root both sides, so this cancel this, so your x, and so this is plus or minus, I don't know why I always forget that, plus 3 over 10 is equal to square root of 69, which is plus or minus 69, over square root of 100 is 10, so this goes to the other side. We have x is equal to minus 3 over 10 plus or minus root 69 over 10. So x is equal to minus 3 plus or minus root 69 over 10. That is the final answer. So now let's take a look at this. Now this is more like a proving, and this is perhaps one of the toughest questions you can ever come across in completing the square method. So if you know how to solve this, if you can practice and know how to solve this, there's perhaps any question that you won't be able to solve when it comes to completing the square method. What we want to prove, we want to derive the almighty formula, the general formula method. Sometimes when people hear almighty formula, they get scared, but there's nothing mighty about almighty formula. Okay, so let's proceed. So let's take ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the first thing we are going to do is to divide both sides by a. Good. Sorry. So we now have this a, we cancel this a, so we say x squared plus b over ax plus, no, now we take c minus c over a to the next to the other side, so it becomes minus c over a. Now we want to make this a perfect square. How do we make it a perfect square? Is by multiplying this by half. So we have b over a times half. So this is going to be b times 1 is b, a times 2 is what? 2a. So now this is what we are going to add to it, the square of it. That's what we are going to add to this to make it a perfect square. So we are going to say x squared plus b over ax plus b over 2a everything square is equal to minus c over a plus b over 2a everything square. Now if you want to find the square root of this, you pick this, and you square. So we pick our x, we pick the plus, then we pick b over 2a, then we square it. This will be equal to minus c over a plus b square is what? B square. 2a square is what? 2. It will be 4a square. Now let me quickly clean up this side because we are going to extend to that side. Okay, so when we have that, we find the square root of both sides. Now, so first we find the LCM. The LCM is what? 4a. Yeah, 4a squared. Sorry. So 4a squared divided by a is what? 4a. 4a times minus c is what? Minus 4ac. 4a divided by 4a squared divided by 4a squared is what? 1. Times b square is what? B square. So this is x plus b over 2a everything square, which is equal to this. Now when we find the square root of both sides, we'll find the square root of both sides. So this becomes plus or minus. So we now have, so this cancel this, so we now have x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus square root of minus 4ac plus b square over 4a square. Now the square root of 4a square is 2a, so we can say x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus. Now I want this b to come to the front and the minus to go to the back, so I have done nothing to this by saying this is equal to b square minus 4ac everything over 2a. So b over 2a goes to the other side to become minus, so we have this is b over 2a minus b over 2a plus or minus square root of what? B square minus 4ac everything over 2a. Since they have the same denominator, you can easily join them together by saying minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. And this is what everybody knows as the almighty formula, and that is the end of completing the square method. Our next set of tutorial will be on its application, the application of the almighty formula. How do we use it in quadratic equation. That is very simple and straightforward. Thank you very much. I remain my humble self, Ireti Faliti. See you in the next tutorial.